Hello, hello, hello. I'm just gonna get my light. Good. Okay. Today we are talking about invoicing to get paid. We all know that as a lot of struggles as business owners is I paid you, no you didn't pay me, you paid me the wrong amount. It keeps going back and forth. I'm just getting my earplugs that in, yeah. We keep getting, you know, they he said, she said continues. I didn't get paid yet. Yes, you were paid wrong amount. So how do you set up your invoicing system in your business to prevent that happening? What do you do to have less nightmares, less money's out there, less confusion and chaos in your business? And also, if you do have your system set up for invoicing, set up effectively and smoothly, you are seen as a leader in your industry and you're going to be looked up on by the customers or clients because they know you're a no nonsense person, business owner. Your processes are smooth, no chaos. So you are going to find that it does so much wonders for your business to have your invoicing system set up correctly and effectively. And that's what we're diving into today for the next few minutes. I am Kersha Campbell. I do help everyday business owners, contractors, construction business owners, helping them to say goodbye to financial chaos and overwhelm about what's happening in their business. I do help them to plug those money holes, those money leaks, put out those fires, finding why there's more cash leaving their business than coming out, and of course to reverse that situation for them. So I'm a CPA and I do help with all those issues and so much more. Let's dive in right now. The number one thing I do want you to start doing is to have your invoices numbered sequentially. That assign a number to your invoice. I can't even get into the chaos, the turmoil when you're not assigning numbers or it's not being done sequentially, because what happens is that you might be sending an invoice out, there's not a number. You might be sending, it could be that you're delivering the same service to the same person, and so all that can be chaotic if you don't have that unique number assigned to your invoice to say this is my invoice number, right? So make sure that you do set that up ASAP if you're not doing that already. So setting up your invoicing system sequentially, if you're using an accounting software, then that's not going to be too difficult, because from you start the numbering in the software, then it's going to keep assigning the number in the right order for you. So if you are still doing manual invoices or you don't have a software, then definitely have that sequential system in place so that every number is accounted for in your business and you're able to say, this is the number, this is the next number. And there are lots of different ways to do it. Some persons might do it according to supplier. I prefer just having from 1 to 100. It's just assigned to, in terms of when it's issued, not getting into by supplier, because then it gets too complicated. And we do know that the less complicated it is, the better, right? The easier to understand, the easier to track errors and all that. So I'm all for systems that are not complicated, that are effective, especially because we want the system, whatever system we choose, we want to make sure that this system is doing what we need it to do, and it's doing it effectively, saving time, saving money, saying goodbye to chaos with that for sure. So that's the first thing. Assign your invoices numbers sequentially. The second thing, make sure you are tracking you're tracking and reviewing the details of your invoice before you send it out. There is a lot of time back and forth. This is wrong. This is not what the scope was. The scope changed, or this is not what I ordered. You get back and forth, back and forth. So have that system in place to make sure that whatever you are billing your client, your customer for is correct. And we do know that we're in an, person's mistakes can be made. But if you do have a system set up in your business to minimize the risk of errors, you have the relevant checkpoints and reviews along the way before it leaves your office, before that email is clicked on, before you put it in the envelope, if you're mailing it out, whatever way you're doing it, before you scan it, make sure that that is correct. And I do know that depending on the system you're using, there's so many systems now which are sending invoices out, automatically. However, there's this computer terminology, garbage in, garbage out. So you have to make sure that even though you are using a system, that the whole setup of the system is done correctly. So there is again less likelihood for errors on the details of the invoice that is leaving your business. So that is number two that I would definitely, suggest, encourage you highly to have that system in place in your business where you are minimizing the risk of errors on the details of the invoice. Because think about it, if the invoice is incorrect, it leaves your business incorrectly and it goes to the client. They are, assuming they're reviewing it in detail. And I do know that you have customers who are clients who are going to be doing that, reviewing it with a fine tooth comb, and that's good. That nothing is wrong with that. But think about it. If it's incorrect, it gets to the client. They're saying, no, 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 no. This was changed, the scope change, this product change. We didn't get this. There's a back and forth. That is again a delay in you getting payment with the money hitting your bank account, right? So think about it. Time is money. You might see it as, oh, it's just an error, but think about the impact of that error on your business, right? So there is the time delay with getting money in, time delay with having it corrected, resending, and the back and forth can continue. So think about the time that is being wasted and having to redo, rework. That's a cost, right? That's a cost to your business. And those are monies which, could have been in your business quicker. And think, especially if you're in a situation where you're having a cash crunch, or, you were hoping to complete this transaction, you have other things that you wanted to do based on those funds coming in, all that is delayed. So it's like a snowball impact, a snowball effect, right? The fact that just that one mistake can have that impact on your business. So it might look, oh, it's just a mistake, mistakes happen, but that's not it doesn't stop there. There are other implications, other areas in your business that are affected, that are being impacted because of this error in your business, this error of the invoicing. So definitely, I do encourage you to review what's happening in your business, and is there a way we can minimize the risk of the invoice leaving our company, our office incorrectly? What can we do as a team? What can we do even if you're solo? What is it that you can think about to implement in your business to reduce the likelihood of this happening? Because again, it is costly and it can be very, very, very frustrating in your business. Number three, have a system in your business in place where when you get payment, the payments are going to the correct invoice. They're allocated to the correct payment. It's just like, think of, I love puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. So, you have a certain piece and it matches with that other piece and it's connected, and then you keep building and building the puzzle. However, if it's a case where there's a mismatch, then that can throw the whole puzzle off, right? And I've even seen instances the other day. We're doing a puzzle with my son, and the pieces fit together. They fit together fine, but when you compared it to the box, it was at the wrong spot. So, the picture box, it was at the wrong spot. So think about it. If things aren't always what they seem as they say. So you might get a payment in, oh, you think it's for this invoice or this person, and you just quickly allocate it, not checking carefully. Are you attaching it to the right invoice? Is it the right customer, the right client? Is it the right amount as well? So have that system in place in your business where you are cross checking your payment. You are checking your payment. You're happy for payment, but you want to make sure that if it's the wrong amount, if it's the wrong pay, if it's, all that, you are capturing quickly in your business. Because again, if you have to go back to the customer, to the client to say, okay, this this is not what it is, then again, there's a delay with that check, those that check reaching your bank account. And again, not all payments are done by checks for sure. However, it's the same thing, that same process if you're gonna be applying a transfer in, an e-transfer, wire transfer. It's the same process for a credit card payment, debit card payment. Make sure that you are cross-checking the payment, because sometimes, for example, in the case of credit cards, sometimes what hits your bank account is going to be the net amount after the charges are deducted, right? So you want to be cognizant of that and have that system in place. It might not be you who is physically doing it as the business owner, the entrepreneur, the CEO. However, make sure that whoever is doing that, whoever you have assigned to do that task, they are knowledgeable and they are correctly doing it, right? And because it does speed up to so many other things. Because think about it, if the wrong amount is being allocated to that client, you're going to have that client being reflected as owing, when that's not the case. And you don't want to do that, because again, that's another confusion. You're calling the client, you didn't pay everything, or you're calling the client, you still owe, or it was the wrong amount when it was a genuine error internally, right? And that can be embarrassing. We all know nobody's perfect, no, and everybody makes mistakes. However, not only that it's embarrassing, but again, it's time wasting back and forth, hours of, especially if it's your time, if you're physically doing that, that's something that, you could, that's time spent where you could have been using your time to do something else. So always consider the opportunity cost of your time as the business owner, the entrepreneur, the CEO. You want to always review and reflect on and consider, assess the opportunity cost of your time. Your time is so valuable. So if you're going to be back and forth with, making sure payment is correct, that's really not a good use of your time. And also, if you're paying someone to do it, and again, that is something that is a process that didn't have to be, but you didn't have to be back and forth with it. So they could have been, doing something else. So always look at the opportunity cost of time and how time is being used, how time is being wasted, efficiencies in your business. So it might seem like, oh, it's just a simple little process here. This is not a big deal. It's just, but it does affect and impact all the other areas of your business. Always remember that your business is, all the areas of your business are integrated, they're intertwined, so they impact each other, right? So whatever decision you make in HR is going to impact, marketing. It's all intertwined. So always remember that. So don't look on your invoicing system or your process in isolation, right? Remember that the steps, the processes that are done in the whole system are impacting the other areas of your business. And it doesn't matter if you're not a large corporation, you might have one person doing several things. It's the same impact on your business. And it does cost when there are errors and you have to redo invoices, you have to have more discussions, and you want to make sure that you are minimizing that happening in your business for sure. You don't want to be, being back and forth can be very annoying, can be very frustrating, and it's just wasting time. So just to recap, you can set up your invoicing system to be paid quickly and free. And there are a lot of other things that you can do to make your invoicing system and process flow quickly and reduce risk of errors and fraud as well. But I just chose those three things to, for us to get quickly on. But there are lots of other areas to the whole invoicing process and system that need to be incorporated and practiced to ensure that there's efficiency, less risk of fraud, less rework, less time waiting on getting paid. Because we all know that the quicker you get paid, it's just less hassle. You're less at the risk of not being paid. You have those monies in your bank account, which you could be using right away instead of there's that delay. And we all, even if you think about the time value of money, $1 today is not going to be worth the same dollar tomorrow, a few months down the line. So consider that as well. So just to recap, our three key areas which we spoke about that you need to, assess, address, improve in your business if you're not doing it right now to ensure that you are getting paid quickly with your whole invoicing process. Number one, attach sequential numbers to your invoicing. Have a sequential numbering system where numbers are assigned to each invoice, individual numbers. You want to make sure that there's a flow and each number is accounted for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight up to whatever. And these numbers are being accounted for in your business. And in doing that, you are ensuring that you have a flow. There's a system in place. You can, okay, this number is for this person, and it flows easier, flows so much better in your business. Number two, so number one is make sure you have sequential, numbering in your business as well. Number two, make sure that you are reviewing the invoices before they leave your office. And this is whether by email or snail mail or, putting it in the envelope, taking it to the post office or dropping it in the mailbox. Make sure that you are reviewing those invoices to make sure they're accurate, right? So things you look out for on the invoicing, make sure the scope of what you're charging for is correct. Make sure the amount is correct. If there's taxes to be added on there, added on correctly. The address is correct. Something as simple as the address, because if the company has changed your address, then again, that's another delay. You're sending it to the wrong address. So make sure you are sending it to the right person. You want to make sure you're sending it to the right person as well, because that definitely impacts the whole flow of operations if the person is no longer there and has changed, so things like that. So definitely assess that. Make sure you have a system where you're checking the invoices for, accuracy before they leave your office, your building, all that. The last thing we spoke about was to remember to have a system in place where when monies are received, they are matched or assigned, allocated to the right person. Not only the right person, but the right invoice. So a lot of times it might seem like it's the same person, same invoice, but it's not. But having that sequential numbering system will help you, and will help you to set that up. So make sure you're allocating the right amount to the invoice, especially now where sometimes you are being paid net of credit card charges. And, so make sure that that is being done in your business. And that will definitely help you with the less wasting of time, increasing your cash flow, because what's happening is that the cash is reaching your bank account quickly and there's less rework, less room for errors and all that in your business. So we all know time is money. So if you have to be back and forth correcting this, correcting that, that can be very frustrating and overwhelming as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as CEOs, and also for the team members as well, right? So easy systems help with the flow of things, and it's just amazing what when you have the right systems in place, effective systems, they can do wonders for your business. So that's our talk for today. That's our chat. Remember to reach out if you do have any questions, any concerns, anything else you might want to discuss about your invoicing process, and you can also subscribe to our channel as well. So thank you so much for tuning in and signing off. This is Harsha Campbell helping business owners in the construction industry, contractors, helping them say goodbye to financial chaos, overwhelm, anxiety, lack of sleepless nights about the state of their business operations, their cash flow situation. There's more cash leaving their business than coming in. You might not have the right cash management systems in place. There's financial chaos in your operations and so much more. So signing off, we will be on again soon. Thank you for tuning in today. Bye.